This is Valley News Live at 5.
It's day 10 of the trial against Derek Chauvin, the former Minneapolis police officer accused of killing George Floyd. And today, a critical witness on the stand. Daryl Forges has more from Minneapolis.
A pivotal moment in the trial against Derek Chauvin as week 2 of testimony wraps up.
You swear or affirm?
The prosecution looking to strengthen its argument that the former Minneapolis police officer used excessive force when he kept his knee on George Floyd's neck for more than 9 minutes.
These are photographs of the left side of Mr. Floyd's face.
On day 10 of Chauvin's trial, 2 critical witnesses taking the stand.
There's no evidence to suggest he would have died that night, except for the interactions with law enforcement.
A former assistant medical examiner testifying, along with medical examiner Dr. Andrew Baker, who performed an autopsy on Floyd and ruled his death a homicide.
Did you note anything resembling either a pill or pill fragments in the stomach contents?
I did not.
Floyd's death certificate mentions other contributing conditions, including heart disease and the presence of fentanyl and meth. But on Friday, former assistant medical examiner Dr. Lindsay Thomas testified Floyd died due to the lack of oxygen.
This is a death where both the heart and lungs stopped working. And the point is that it's due to law enforcement subdual restraint and compression.
In Minneapolis, I'm Daryl Forges.
Chauvin is charged with second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter in the death of George Floyd. Fargo police are warning of a high-risk sex offender living in the area. Matthew Eagleman is currently homeless. He was convicted of gross sexual imposition in Ramsey County in 2002 and 1998 after victimizing several children. High-risk sex offenders are considered the most likely to reoffend. It's been a slow process, but the rain is on its way out. Let's find out more on that and get a check of this evening. Nathan?
Yeah, Andrea, slow process is right, and I guess the slow-moving rain was good for those folks in Minnesota, where there has been some improvement in the drought conditions, and an update released this morning from the National Weather Service. But in some areas out toward the west, and especially in the Devil's Lake Basin and up and toward the northern valley, the reds you see there, that is extreme drought conditions. And severe drought conditions have also been expanded toward Grand Forks and Fargo-Moorhead, and then to areas of eastern North Dakota. And of course, you can see the yellows there. That's an improvement of those drought conditions there in Minnesota. So that's the good news that we have seen from the rainfall that's been persistent for the past couple days. And we are seeing that rain slowly but surely lessening, and this whole system is moving off toward the east. We do still have some stubborn rain showers there right now in Otter Tail County, just outside Fergus Falls. So some light rainfall at this time, still ongoing in some of our Minnesota neighborhoods. But again, good news is it will be exiting through this evening and setting the stage for a pretty fantastic Saturday, if I do say so myself. There's those temperatures if you're heading out the door this Friday evening. We're in the rain-cooled 30s in areas like Bemidji and Badette and Detroit Lakes at 41 degrees, but then we're in the lower 50s right now in Fargo, Grand Forks, 57 in Jamestown. So, Andrea, of course, the weekend is upon us. We'll break down that weekend forecast and talk about a first alert weather day for Monday and Tuesday of next week.
Okay, thanks, Nathan. The West Fargo Police Department says scammers are using the department's phone number to trick people into purchasing and sending gift card numbers. Someone has already fallen for it and lost $500. Scammers claim you have warrants or owe money to the DEA as part of a drug investigation. You are then asked to buy gift cards and give the card numbers to the scammers over the phone. West Fargo police say they will never ask anyone to buy gift cards to pay off warrants or any other items. There's another scam going around Breckenridge, Minnesota, where scammers are pretending to be police. But this time, the scammers claim they're raising money. Breckenridge police say residents have been getting letters like this asking for donations to a charity that supports the families of fallen officers. The charity is the National Law Enforcement Officers Fund. That charity is real, but police say the person sending the letters is not affiliated with it. If you have questions about that letter, please call police. The Hubbard County Sheriff's Office needs your help finding a stolen vehicle. They say the truck was stolen in southeast Bemidji within the last couple of days. This isn't a photo of the actual truck, just a similar one. The truck is a 2006 Chevy C4500 with Minnesota plates that read YBM 0403. If you see it, go ahead and call police. We now have an official cause of death for Capitol Hill police officer William Billy Evans. Evans is the 41-year-old police officer who was killed when a driver rammed his car into a barricade at the U.S. Capitol last Friday. According to the medical examiner's office, Evans died as a result of multiple blunt force injuries to the head. The manner of death, they say, was homicide. A second officer was injured during the incident. The driver, who jumped out of the vehicle with a knife, was shot when he refused to drop the weapon. The federal government will increase a variety of resources to the states that currently have a surge of COVID cases. Today, the COVID-19 response coordinator says that will include the deployment of CDC, FEMA, and other personnel to help with vaccinations, as well as increasing the availability of diagnostic testing. However, this will not include a surge in the number of actual vaccines.
As of today, overall, more than 112 million Americans have received at least one dose. And more than 66 million adult Americans are now fully vaccinated. That's more than 1/4 of all adult Americans that are now fully vaccinated.
Officials also say Johnson & Johnson will continue to have a low level of weekly doses until its independent manufacturing contractor receives FDA authorization. A major announcement on progress of the Fargo-Moorhead flood diversion project. State and federal officials say a $67 million bid has been awarded to industrial builders of West Fargo to raise a portion of Interstate 29. U.S. Senator John Hoeven says a 4-mile stretch of I-29 from south of Hickson to north of the Davenport-Oxbow exit needs to be raised to get it out of the floodplain, adding that this is a vital part of the flood control project. Hoeven calls it a 2-for-1 deal.
The excavating of the dirt from one spot, which is part of the control structure, will then become the fill for the road raise. So it's 2-for-1 in terms of savings and efficiency.
Governor Doug Burgum added today that he will sign the $680 million bonding bill that passed the North Dakota legislature on Thursday, which includes an additional $435 million for the FM diversion project. More than 200 road construction projects are in the works for the state of Minnesota this year. Here in our area, 26 miles of Highway 87 from Frazee to the Becker and Wadena County line will be resurfaced. Crews there will work to widen shoulders between Frazee and Evergreen. The shoulders will also be widened for nearly 16 miles of Highway 200 near the south shore of Leech Lake. This stretch of road will also see new turning lanes. Public Works employees in Valley City are asking people to think before they flush, saying crews have to clean debris out of their lift station every week. They posted this picture on Facebook. That's the trash rack at the master lift station. They say the picture shows just 20% of what is caught every week. While most of the items clogging the sewer are flushable wipes, they also report finding pop cans, bottles, trash, grocery bags, and even sheets. City officials say if people stopped flushing things that shouldn't be flushed, it would prolong the life of the equipment that keeps the sewer system functioning and save everyone money in the long run. Buckingham Palace says Prince Philip, husband of Queen Elizabeth II, has died at the age of 99. NBC's Keir Simmons reports from London.
From the beginning, life conspired to make Prince Philip his own man. He was born in Greece, into that country's royal family, and exiled with them when he was still a small child. A Spartan education in northern Scotland moulded a tough-minded achiever. He saw action on several battleships during World War II, a brilliant and brave naval officer. His 1947 wedding to Elizabeth lifted the spirits of post-war Britain. The next year, Prince Charles was born. 3 more children would follow. At age 96, after more than 22,000 solo public appearances, Prince Philip retired from royal duties. His legacy, a lifetime of service to his nation and his wife, the Queen. Funeral arrangements have not yet been announced, but they are likely to revolve around Windsor, where Prince Philip died this morning. And of course, all eyes will be on the Queen. For her, the end of a love story unmatched, perhaps, since the story of Victoria and Albert. Keir Simmons, NBC News, London.
Due to COVID restrictions, royal officials say Prince Philip will not have a state funeral nor lie in state for the public to pay their respects. Rapper DMX has died at the age of 50. The three-time Grammy nominee, whose real name was Earl Simmons, suffered a heart attack on April 2nd and had been hospitalized since. His family released a statement calling him a warrior who fought to the very end. DMX's first studio album debuted in the top spot on the Billboard 200 chart in 1998, as did 4 more albums. His chart-topping singles include Party Up and Rough Riders Anthem. DMX also acted in a number of movies. People are freezing for a reason this weekend to raise money for Special Olympics. About 40 people will take the plunge into chilly water at the Delta by Marriott. This is video from their most recent event in 2019. The event was postponed 3 times last year before being canceled due to the pandemic. 2020 was expected to be a record-breaking year for fundraising. All you first-time plungers, here's what you can expect.
And I came out of the water and I couldn't scream because it was so cold, it sucked the wind out of me. That's the bad side of it. The fantastic side about it is within 30 minutes to an hour afterwards, the adrenaline and the greatness that your body feels is just like, it makes you want to do it again.
Participants must raise at least $75. Sign-ups are on Saturday morning at noon with the plunge beginning at 12:30. Police in Western Australia are looking for a man regarding a trespass and damage incident after video footage shows him pulling down part of a wall. Police say the wall damaged an internal foyer area of the building when it collapsed. The acrobatic trespasser is then seen jumping back to the ground, picking up his bag and strolling away. Coming up, see what Facebook is now doing to help in the fight against COVID.
And for your Friday plans, those winds will be calming down to north around 10 miles per hour by 11 o'clock, and those temperatures cooling to near 40 by the midnight hour in Fargo. Notice those clouds hang around for a little bit longer. Then in Grand Forks, also seeing those winds calming down to that 10 mile per hour out of the north. But of course, we'll talk about a mainly quiet weekend and the chance for some wintry precipitation after the break.